everybody, and welcome back to another weekly reading vlog. I hope you guys are all doing very well. It is November's first weekly reading vlog, which feels so bananas to say, because it feels like just yesterday we were in July, but here we are, second to last month of the year. Hopefully this will be the month where I hit my 100th book of the year, which I'd be really thrilled with, and lots of good reading plans. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the TBR. So starting off with my holdover book from last week, that is The Book of Guilt by Katherine Chidgey. This was a 5-star prediction based on the very high rating on Goodreads, and also many people I know really loving this. And I do have to say the beginning was a little bit rocky, but I'm starting to settle into it. So we are kind of in a alternate world, or like our world, but an alternate situation where nobody won World War II. And we're following these 3 13-year-old triplets who live in this orphanage, and they have this dark secret. But there's not a whole lot of explanation at the beginning. You're kind of thrown into it. I do love the writing. I think it's very descriptive. It's beautiful writing. I just am like waiting for some explanation for the hook of the story. So we'll see with this one. I'm hoping that I enjoy it and do give it 5 stars. I have read one other book by this author called Remote Sympathy, which I gave 4 stars and really enjoyed. So hopefully I enjoy this one as well. Otherwise, this week, I am back on my thriller kick, which feels really wonderful to say. I've been doing a lot of like historical fiction and other reading recently, which I absolutely love. And often those are the books that end up being my favorite books of the year. But there's nothing better to me than like a great twisty mystery thriller. It is my bread and butter. And so I have 3 thrillers picked out for this week that I'm hoping that I really love. Yes, this TBR is a little bit ambitious. So yeah, let's just get into it. The first one is the new Shari Lapino, which is called She Didn't See It Coming. This is, I believe, a thriller. Yeah, it says when a beloved wife and mother disappears, a luxurious condo building transforms into a potential crime scene. Can the detective find her before it's too late? So excited for this. Sounds like a rompy fun time. Then we have the new Frida McFadden, which I ordered, and I think I actually got this on release day, and then I've been dragging my heels a little bit. Part of the reason I got it is because these gorgeous sprayed edges, which I don't think are wanting to focus, but anyways, it says, "What is she hiding?" and has little raindrops. And I know Frida McFadden is known for writing very dark, twisty, quick, popcorny thrillers, and I thought picking up her new one would be a good place to start. It says, "Who knows what the storm will blow in?" So it's this girl, Cassie. She's in a cabin in the wilderness, and then she discovers this girl lurking outside her kitchen window. So excited for that. And this is pretty short, so I should be able to get through that pretty quickly. And then the last chunkster, which will probably take a lot of my time this week, is All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. This has been on my radar for a while because people just really enjoy this. And it is extremely long. It's like about 600 pages. And I don't know too much going into it, but I knew as soon as I heard all the hype and everybody loving it, and my friend Charlotte really loves it too, I was like, I'm going to pick it up, so I might as well just do it and see what I think. But yes, this is going to take a lot of my time this week. So this is my very eclectic and fun TBR for the week, but mostly a good mystery thriller, fun little time. Otherwise, what is going on this week? Lots of exciting things. So I do go back to work. So I just finished my week off. So I do go back to work and do some time with the kiddos, which will be very lovely. And then this coming weekend, I am seeing a concert that is probably, like, if I could say, you know, for throughout my whole life, what would be my ideal dream concert? There probably would have been 2 I would have brought up. One would be Fleetwood Mac. And I have seen Stevie Nicks in concert before, but not like Fleetwood Mac as a whole. And that was incredible. And they played lots of the Fleetwood Mac songs. And my other would be some form of the Beatles. I grew up with the Beatles. My mom is from the UK and grew up in the UK. And so in the car. It was always playing. Like when they came out with that Disney documentary series, which I'm forgetting what it's called, I watched all of it the day it came out. I'm a huge, huge fan. And as soon as I heard Paul McCartney was touring, I was like, I will drop everything, everything to make this happen. So me, Tyler's dad, and Tyler's stepmom are going to go see Paul McCartney this coming weekend. And I am unbelievably excited. I've already looked at the set list. I'm so pumped. So that is probably going to be the highlight of my week. And we're doing a little like day trip. So yeah. Otherwise, though, should be kind of a chill fall week, coming down from the high of Halloween, but still lots of fun times in November, and Thanksgiving, of course, is coming up as well. So overall, I think it's going to be a really good week, and I'm going to go clean up this mess of books on my floor and get to reading. So it's only Monday, and usually it takes me a little bit to have enough to chat with you guys about. But I have finished a book. I'm a decent way through a second book. I hauled 3 books today, and I have a box to unbox. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do this clip, and then I'll obviously probably be a couple days until I have something else, but. Let me start with the box because I think that's the thing that I'm most excited about. So I ordered way too many wax melts from this company called Wick and Wish, which is my favorite. They just do the best scents. They do seasonal scents. So every season they will open up the website for you to order whatever. And then there's usually like a second chance if you didn't get what you wanted. But anyways, the scents are the best, and I'm most excited about the fall scents. I can't really remember what I ordered, so I thought it'd be really fun to just unbox these and see what I got, react to the scents on camera, and then, yeah. So let me open this box. Okay, this box just smells like pumpkin, and I really went overboard. Oh my goodness. Maybe this was a bad idea to do this on camera. Okay, I'm not going to smell all of these because we would be here forever. But I'll just show you what I got. So the first one is called I Am an Autumn. And then we have Book Club. Next one's called October Sky. Next, this might be the one I'm most excited about. It's called Katniss, the Girl on Fire. Because I'm actually going to smell this one right now because I just have to know. That smells so good. It says charcoal, black pepper, bergamot, amber, and sandalwood. I love that one. We have Dream by the Shadows. Aggie Cromwell. Grave Flowers. Oh, they sent me a little sample. It's called Jack Frost, so this must be one of their winter collection that they're going to release. Okay, I promise I only have a few more. Obstinate Headstrong Girl, which I'm obsessed with. Love. This one is called Basic Witch, and it's pumpkin spice latte. We have Sleepy Hollow and Whipstaff Manor. I get some of the references. I don't get all of the references. So anyways, this will probably keep me going for maybe multiple autumns. But I just saw so many scents that looked really lovely. So I treated myself. All right. So those are the wax melts. Then I did also stop by Barnes & Noble. I told my friend Frost, I was like, you have one job. Don't let me go to the bookstore and buy anything. And then he had to leave to go pick up his kids, and I went to the bookstore. So it's not his fault. So I got a couple of things. Two of the things kind of go together, so I'll just share those together. I got the next two books in the Dream Harbor series. So Cinnamon Bun Bookstore is the next one, and then Christmas Tree Farm is the third one. And I thought to myself, I was like, I would love to read these in seasonal order, meaning like get this one while it's still fall, and then the Christmas tree one as we're getting to the Christmas season. And then it seems like the most recent one was like a spring-y one. So I was like, you know what? I will just keep up with those. So expect those. The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore will probably be in the November vlogs. And then a very random purchase is this absolute chunkster, which is Lonesome Dove by Larry McCurdy. So this won the Pulitzer Prize a few years ago. This is the 40th anniversary edition. And on Instagram, I've just been seeing so many people reading this trilogy, which is, I can't remember. This is the first one in the trilogy though. And they're kind of like a Western, which is a little bit odd for me, but people just really, really seem to love it. And I do tend to like dramatic family saga type of things. Okay, I'm very confused because on the back of this book, this says that this is the third book in the Lonesome Dove tetralogy. But on Goodreads, this is marked as book 1 in the series. So let me know, can I read this first if you've read this? Okay. So that is my random little book haul. Very random and eclectic as always. Then, okay, let me give you guys the reading update. I feel like this clip is already kind of chaotic. Okay, so reading update. I finished The Book of Guilt by Catherine Chidgey. Chidgey, I think is actually how you pronounce it. I don't think the G is a hard G. And this is a super weird book. This was a 5-star prediction, and I did not give it 5 stars, but I did really, really enjoy it. I don't want to tell you too much because, as I think I've kind of shared while reading this, like you come into it and you have no idea what's going on. And part of the fun of this is just trying to figure out like what is actually happening. And so I will just tell you what I knew going into it. Of course, that this is about triplets that live in this orphanage in an alternate world where no one won World War II. And we go from there. I don't think you need to know more than that to go into this, but I think that this went in a lot of directions I didn't think it was going to go. This was, as I said, extremely weird. It dealt a lot with like nature versus nurture. It dealt with a lot of morality issues. What makes a human a human? Apologize if you can hear my vacuum in the background. Yeah. I think the reason why this didn't get a 5 stars is I think the beginning was too slow and I think the ending was too rushed. And I think that this book did something that I don't necessarily love, which is like not giving you enough to like appreciate what is happening until a decent way through the book. I love a book where it's like they plop you into something and you don't quite know what's going on. But like do that for 20, 30 pages. Don't do that for half the book. That is a personal preference thing. I think some people really like a book where you're just like, what is happening? And then everything comes together at the end. I just find that irritating. So yeah, I did really enjoy this. I gave it 4 stars. This is not a typical me book. It is a little bit more dystopian than I typically read. Again, the pacing and like the world building and all of that was a little bit different than I typically like. But the writing was really excellent, and I think it brought up a lot of interesting things. So would read more from the author and did overall enjoy it, but not a 5 star. Then this morning, I started She Didn't See It Coming by Sherry Lupina, and I really enjoyed the beginning part of this. I'm about 100 pages through. I like this because this just feels like a very bread and butter, like detective, closed door kind of mystery. And it's been a while since I've read one of those. I kind of like that it's just that. And we don't have all of like bells and whistles. It's just like straight up detective work about what's happening. So basically we're following this mom. Her name is Brighton. She lives in this fancy high-rise apartment building. And one day her husband gets a call basically that she didn't pick up her daughter from daycare. And so he rushes home and she's nowhere. And this is very abnormal for her. And so they call the police and there's this big search for what happened to her. But from the camera, they kind of like the CCTV footage, they know that she couldn't have like left. And so they don't know where she is in this high-rise building. And we're following some of her family members. We're following some other people that live in the apartment complex. And we also get a little bit of a glimpse into something that happened right before she went missing, which I think might have something to do with what's going on, although that hasn't really tied into it too much. Writing is really solid. This is a very fun, fast-paced book so far. I am overall enjoying it. So excited to read a little bit of this before I go to bed. So I'm going to pack up this absolute chaos that is on my living room table, which is a million wax melts, books galore. And I'm going to do a little bit more reading and then head to sleep. Happy Friday. I have a nice little cup of apple cinnamon, which is really hitting the spot because we are having a bit of a cold turn. There is snow on the forecast for Monday, so we're just skipping over fall and going straight to winter, but that's fine. We leave for Paul McCartney tomorrow, so we're trying to like get the house together a little bit, which currently is in process. Last night I worked overnight from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. and I always just like struggle to adjust. So like I feel exhausted, but I also feel like I can't fall asleep yet because like my sleep schedule's a little flipped. Yet we have to get up early tomorrow to go to the show because we're spending the day with our in-laws during the day. So anyways, lots of rambling to say. I have quite a few things to do before we head out, and yeah. I'm in full-on sloth mode. I've just been reading today, snuggling with the cats, just all the cozy things. But I do have one book that I finished. I have a book package, and I'm halfway through another book, so I thought we should do a little update. First off, let us do the book package. It is Rules of Civility by Immortals. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm so excited to have this in my hands. So if you haven't been following the recent vlogs, I read A Gentleman in Moscow over the past couple of weeks and loved it. It was a 5-star read, one of my favorite reads of the year. And I've heard really excellent things about Rules of Civility. And this one, I believe, takes place in Manhattan and follows like socialites in Manhattan. Yeah, 1937. I'm so pumped. I don't think I'm going to be able to read it in this vlog. Well, I'm definitely not reading it in this vlog. Hopefully we'll get to this in November because I keep thinking about Gentleman in Moscow and keep wanting to pick it up. And yeah, really looking forward to this. Okay, so that is the book mail. That was expected. I ordered that. I just didn't know which one it was going to be because I have also ordered Lincoln Highway, which is on its way to me as well. All right, now for my book that I finished. That is She Didn't See It Coming by Sherry Lupina. I gave this a 3-star. No, I think I gave this a 3.5. 3 or 3.5. I will let you know by the end of this video. I enjoyed this. This was a popcorn thriller, a very run-of-the-mill domestic thriller, closed-door thriller. Like, it was entertaining. I don't know that it did anything different or did anything particularly special or unique. I don't know that I'll remember too much about it a year from now. I did guess, I kind of narrowed it down to the 2 people that I thought had done it, and one of them did. I thought the middle dragged just a little bit, but overall, not bad at all. I think the writing was solid. It was entertaining. I would read more by the author. It just wasn't, it's not a new favorite. So I'm going to executively say 3.5 stars because it was entertaining for most of it and I did enjoy it. So 3.5 stars for this one. And then I have made my way through the beginning of All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I'm currently, the chapters in this are so short that I'm on page 172, but I'm on chapter 74. They're literally like 1 to 2 page chapters. And so far I'm really, really enjoying this. It is very slow. It is very character driven. So just know that going into it. I think often this gets put in the crime section, put in the mystery thriller section, and people come into this expecting like a rip-roaring pace, which I did a bit. And it's not that. It's more of like a character build, slow drama. But now that I've kind of adjusted my expectations to that, I am enjoying it. We are in this small town in Missouri, Monte Clara, and it's in the 70s. We're following this young boy named Patch. And at the beginning of the story, he's not particularly liked or looked up to in the town because people make fun of him for the fact that he has one eye and he wears an eye patch. And so people are just awful to him. But at the beginning of the story, he does this heroic thing. And I'm not going to get too far into that, but he does something very heroic, and then his relationship with people in the town kind of change. I really like the storytelling and the character work. There's a character in here named Saint that I just love, and I love how well she's written, how I can envision everything that she's doing. I love a lot of the friendships, relationships, the family dynamics. I feel like I can see this town really well. The atmosphere is great. It's very descriptive. It gives me a little bit of Gillian Flynn vibes, a little bit, and I think maybe that's because it's in Missouri. I want to say a lot of her books are set in Missouri, and it's very drenched in atmosphere. But yeah, I'm kind of holding I think the expectations I came into this with are very different than what it is. And so I'm trying to form actual opinions on it. I don't so far thoroughly love it, favorite book of the year. I don't dislike it. I think I'm trying to evolve what I think of it. So excited to read a bit more of this. I will take this to on our little trip for the concert this weekend, although TBD how much I actually get to. But yeah, probably will be a holdover book into next week. All right. Well, I have done all of the stalling tactics, and now I actually need to clean our house and get ready for tomorrow. All right, my friends, so it is Monday, and I'm in to wrap up this vlog. We had a little bit of snow last night, which don't know if I'm quite ready for it, to be honest, but it's here. But it looks like it's going to melt throughout the day, so nothing too dramatic. I do have a quick book box, and then I'm going to wrap up the books that I read this week. I did want to talk about the concert because it was amazing. I will never get over it. I will never get over it. It's a memory I'm going to have for my whole life. It was incredible. It was, his voice, the songs, they all felt electric in a way that I don't understand. An 80-year-old man has the same energy as he did when he was 20. Truly amazing. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, I'm still living on the high of that. Okay, let's do the book box. I'm pretty sure I know what this is. All right, it is a very beaten up copy of The Lincoln Highway. I'm pretty sure I ordered like new, and it's like dirty and kind of a mess, but that's fine. So yes, very, very excited to read this. It is not large print, so we should be good to give this a go. I don't know what order I'm going to read Lincoln Highway and Rules of Civility. I'm not sure. This does look a lot chunkier than Rules of Civility, so I don't know. But I am really excited to pick this up. So don't know if I'm going to hold on to this copy, though, because this looks like a hot mess. So now we're in the wrap-up segment. This week, I ended up reading 897 pages, which is 128 pages per day, which is fantastic. Really happy with those numbers. I made it through 2 books, and then I'm part of the way through another. So The Book of Guilt by Katherine Chidgey, I gave 4 stars and very much enjoyed. And then She Didn't See It Coming by Shari Lapena, I gave 3.5 stars and also enjoyed. And then I have not made much more progress in this because on our trip away, we were just very busy the whole time, and so I didn't have a whole lot of time to read this. So this will be a holdover book into next week, so stay tuned. And speaking of stay tuned, when I finish this will be my 99th book of the year, which means next week's vlog is going to be my 100th book of the year extravaganza. And I thought it would be really fun to make this a little bit interactive with you guys to pick my 100th book of the year. So I put a poll on my Instagram of 4 books that I think are contenders. But if you have anything else that you would like to see me read for my 100th book of the year, just send me a message and why you think it would be a good pick. And I would love to take a look. I will pick my TBR for that probably in the next couple of days, one or 2 days. So pop on over there if you want to have a say in what I end up picking. And, quote of the week. Hold on. I'm actually, for my quote of the week, going to go with the opening to All the Colors of the Dark because I just thought that the opening of this was awesome. So it says, "From the flat roof of the kitchen, Patch looked out through serried pin oaks and white pine to the loom of St. Francis Mountains that pressed the small town of Mount Clara into its shade no matter the season. At 13, he believed entirely that there was gold beyond the Ozark Plateau, that there was a brighter world just waiting for him. Though later that morning, when he lay dying in the woodland, he'd take that morning and purse it till the colors ran because he knew it could not have been so beautiful, that nothing was ever so beautiful in his life." Isn't that just a stunning start to a book? So that's going to be the quote for this week. The sun just all of a sudden came out. So apologize for this weird lighting situation. And with that is going to be the end of the vlog this week. If you made it to the end of the video, leave me a knife emoji for this thriller that I finished. Although there was no knife in here, but that is a thriller emoji. So leave me a knife emoji for this. And I will see you guys all very soon with another video. Bye.